Hi guys, what's going on? And welcome back to another episode of Ostriv. So, if you remember last time, we were building our residential area down further to the south. We'd got most of our bridges, which are now constructed, pretty much, bar this one here, across to the other side of the river, so eventually we're going to be expanding over this way a little bit. And we started to build our chicken shed, which I don't know if I finished, because I can't remember where I put it. Where did I put it? Over here, maybe? Oh, there we go. So that's being built, we've still got that being built. But our main problem was actually we're starting to run out of food. We had quite a drive to increase the number of houses, which went well. Now got 260 population, but as a consequence, we've kind of run out of food. So we've ran out of potatoes completely, apart from what's stored in the trading post. So I'm going to lower the number stored in the trading post to try and free up another 10 potatoes to tide us over, because we should be hitting harvest season soon. So we should get another couple of fields of potatoes, and we've got one of wheat as well. Although we've still got a little bit of wheat spare, I think if we look at our stuff here, we've still got some 23.8 wheat available, which is good. The other thing I've noticed is we're starting to struggle a little bit from a lag point of view now. As the more and more we build, it's getting more and more intense on my system, and it seems to be struggling more and more. So we'll keep trying, we'll keep going until sort of the bitter end. But I guess we're going to struggle to probably by the time, if I double the size of this to 500 people, it may end up really struggling. So we'll have to see. Oh, there goes the bridge. The bridge is now built. So let's have a look what else we could build. We could continue to construct more houses, but the problem with that is I'm most worried about field growth, food. So I think at the last time I ordered some more boats. So we'll assign more fishermen to here, even though all the boats aren't fully built yet. Can't find wood anywhere. One wood there. Oh. We are actually out of wood. It's a problem I hadn't actually not encountered in a while. So the lumberjacks are actually completely out of wood. So let's go to production and get another lumberjack built then. I assume it comes with the production. Can you see it? There it is. So we'll get another one built. Let's just rotate it round. Where's it going to go? Should we just stick it out here next to the chicken coop? Like that. So we'll add that forestry there, get that built, and get some more people manning the forestry. Still okay for jobs roundabout. We're starting to lose a few people due to the sort of financial problems that people are having. Everyone's sort of running out of money continually, which is kind of proving to be a bit of a problem. And we've not got staggering amounts of money ourselves. And I've got a couple of shoes ready, but not a lot. I think we've got some sunflower oil I thought we were selling, but perhaps not. No active deals. Okay, so we've still got quite a lot of sunflower oil in which to sell as well. That'll be a good boost to our economy if we can get some of that sold. And then also, I think we're going to have to look at trying to build more fisheries. It seems we're starting to have this food shortage. The problem when you start to get lots more farms is it starts to get harder to work them. One thing we're going to adjust is the labour limit per farm. So we'll set it like, say 7 per farm. Have we got anything planted there? No. Okay. We've got this one, which is our potato one. It's because you can't have enough workers to have 20 labourers per farm. So I'd rather have it spread out so every farm gets harvested at a similar rate, rather than just having one farm get harvested really quickly and the rest sort of ignored. So we'll set labour limits on all the farms. Even though these ones aren't currently got anything planted, I shall still set a labour limit on them. And these ones as well. Oops. Can't have that a date. That'll just bother my ACD too much. So we've got a few, and we're going to have a much bigger harvest next year. We'll soon be hitting August, so we're soon going to be heading into a harvest season. All the labourers will be called up very shortly, I suspect. So we've got a messenger visiting from Dahachi. Let's just have a look how many shoes we've got to sell. We've got 3, so not a lot of money, but we'll sell them the 3 shoes nonetheless. So we'll make that deal. So what have we got in terms of cows? So we've got a few more things that have been born. Still a couple of short on those sheds there. So we've got a couple more spare there. And we've come over on a few here. So, okay, so we're looking relatively good on those. So let's move a few over. So we'll drag a cow and bull from one each of these. So that takes them back down to 10. I think this guy's got 12 as well. So we'll do a bull and a cow. Obviously, I'm just trying to really expand so that I end up having lots of new cattle growth per turn, and then once we get lots per turn, then we can have per year we can have a good amount of shoe production for leather, etc., which will then sort of make things a bit more sustainable. That's my sort of long-term aim. So when we get all these cows moved over, they're taking them the long way around. I'm going to go through the forest and then across the bridge. So it looks like the chicken coop has been constructed. So we'll put a couple of workers in the chicken hut. See if we get any chickens being produced. We could start a chicken colony. But I don't know if I have to buy chickens from somewhere else. I mean, I've not seen any of the other people trading chickens yet, which is something I'd expect. Or maybe we see you got one of 10 eggs for breeding. So maybe when you place a chicken coop, you get an egg to start with, and that means you can grow the livestock. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully these guys can get on top of the wood situation. There's also the risk that the firewood situation is pretty short, and with the fact that there's no wood available, then there's nothing to make firewood. So we've got to be a bit careful of that. So that's why I'm getting this second forestry building put up, and I'll get that fully staffed. Sorry. So then hopefully we'll increase production quite a bit there. Because obviously let's just cancel. Wrong button. Fire these other 2 workers at the fishery because there's only 1 boat, so I don't know why. There's no point in paying other people to do nothing. We should have the trailer coming over to pick up these shoes. That should give us, what, 110 gold. That'll give us a little top up because we are going down quite a bit per year. So everyone is out harvesting. Looks like actually there are more spare labourers than I initially expected. Yeah, so we can actually be a bit more generous with our labour limit. Let's put that up to 8 on each. Like that. And that one, we can have 8 as well. I expected it to be more, but then maybe a lot of these jobs are just being filled in by other women, you see. So perhaps I was a bit overzealous in my blocking, but next year we'll have a lot more. So it looks like everything's getting harvested, which is good. They're cutting down all the crops equally, which is kind of nice. All the farms are being worked on now. So over here, they have now got a plough for this farm, which is good. So this next year we can get this farm operational. And we can get this one planted, but they haven't yet got a plough. So it's just something else to think about. So we'll get 2 people hired for that farm as well. Once the harvest is over, I'll fire that man and get him replaced. I'll fire him now, actually. Get him replaced by a woman. Because there's no point having the men working at the farm when there's sort of not enough men to fill the rest of the jobs, but lots of spare women. So there's still some financial and food shortages in our sort of slums down at the bottom of our little village. So I don't really know what I can do about that. I've not got enough income myself to vastly increase the wages. If anything, I need to decrease the wages because I've already increased them. Currently, no one pays any rent to try and keep the cost down, but you know it's not going to be ultimately sustainable, I don't think, unless we can get shoe production really going quickly. So we've got a few more things in each shed. So just have to leave them to sort of grow and everything now. There's nothing, so as I say, nothing I can do about the money ones and everything, so we're just going to have to leave that as well. Wheat harvest, we've got potato harvest. It's obviously being harvested still, that's good. We need to get as many potatoes as we can because that's going to be a shortage for us. It's going to be something that's going to be a problem, I suspect. Got quite a lot of sunflowers to sell. Let's increase the limit to make sure that the sunflower workshop keeps producing. And then we'll get all the wheat and everything in. We don't want everyone to starve. We've still got a whole winter to survive yet. So if we're not careful, we could be running into problems. No one's moved the spare potatoes out of the trading post though. Have the market stalls all still got access to food? Yeah, some potato, flour and beef. They're not a great deal in terms of quantity. What about some of the more far-flung? That's a car park. That's the market stall. Flour and fish. See, my worry is we're going to run out of stuff. Fish, 0.1. Which all we're going to have is this potato harvest. We've got the wheat, which we've got a reasonable amount of, but because I've only got 2 mills running at one time, then that means that the flour, it takes quite a long time to mill, it seems, compared to how quickly it grows and harvests. So you need quite a few mills to get it all processed. I've currently got 3 operating, look. So that kind of means we should get a steady trickle of wheat throughout the year, which is probably a good thing, really, because it means we don't eat it all in one go. So let's go into fast forward a little bit, get things moving. We're just waiting for the start of this harvest to come in. Looks like this forestry building has just been finished off, so let's get another 2 workers there. Because you have to have 2 workers at the forestry for them to be able to carry logs, otherwise nothing will ever get done. So I'm just going to hang on from building things for just a second while they turn some things into wood, because we want to try and get resources back up a little bit before we start mass construction projects on another thing. Looks like they're loading the shoes on now, so that should give us a little bit of money back, which it is. Might take us back to about 400-ish. It's going to be a little bit tight come time to do next year, I think. Lots of families are running out of food, but is it because there's so many jobs available? As soon as a family leaves, another one just moves in. So it really doesn't make a lot of difference to me. So there's no real cost to people running out of food. They just leave and then come back again. So it's not really a problem for me. The mayor is now super rich. So everything else is going okay. It looks like we've got most of the stuff is starting to get harvested now. All the hemp's been brought in here. Still got a few wheat fields to go. Wheat's probably furthest behind. It's got a really good grow, some of these wheat. It's quite some good crops. So all the windmills are going at... It looks like they're about to take off when they're in fast forward mode. Okay. Random. Yes, so let's have a look how the chicken coop is doing, if anything. 1 egg for breeding. It's not doing anything by the looks of it then. This is one. Oh, but we don't have any eggs, so we need eggs. Where do we get eggs from? Okay, so that's what we need then. Eggs. Maybe one of the other villages did sell eggs, possibly. I can't remember. Which one would it be? I wonder if it was Dahachi. Maybe it was Dahachi. Maybe they had wheat to lime and eggs. Can't remember now. Okay, well we'll keep going, and then every time we get a messenger, we just got to be really careful to check that we get enough eggs from each one. We'll build while it's there, we might as well get ready for it. So we'll build another chicken coop next to it. Chickens could be quite an easy one to maintain. They don't need any space, and obviously producing eggs could be quite an easy source of food for people to do. What's going on here? Bit of a wandering mouse. Well, again, so we'll get a second one built there. Looks like we're starting to get a bit more wood and stuff put in, so that's not such a problem for us. 94 wood there, 61 there. And these guys should start to cut things down and get things moving as well a little bit more. They're making massive inroads into the forest, considering we started here. So everything else seems to be growing quite well. We could consider building another row of housing. Be an interesting idea. There's plenty of jobs obviously at the moment because everyone is doing the harvest, so it could be quite a good time to build. Well, it would be quite a good time for people to move in, not necessarily a good time to build. So we've got this farm, which is going to work next year. Will it let me change? No, still in season. So once the season's over, we can assign this farm to be a potato farm. Obviously that's what we want it to be. This one will be assigned to be a potato farm as well. We'll have to look at the nutrients of these farms and make decisions about what we want to do. Because most of these are fairly worn out now. So maybe this one will be fallow next year. And that one's fairly worn out, and so maybe that'll have to be fallow next year as well. This one's probably good enough for another harvest. Perhaps put that one as a wheat and 2 potatoes. So anyway, we'll carry on. We've got 47 sunflower oil. We really need a trader from Murphy to visitors. That's what we need, because that would allow us to sell all that sunflower oil to them. Because we're down to 280 gold now. A messenger from Bablika. They offer flour, cows, and iron. So no eggs. And I can only sell them potatoes, which I don't really want to do. Although, given how little money I've got, maybe we could sell them 10 potatoes. Let's do that. Because it seems that they can't seem to leave this trading post anyway. I'm not sure how to get rid of them. And I think there's quite a danger of... why have I got so many people employed here? You can be fired. There's quite a danger that... I'm going to run out of money because I'm down to 260 now already. We're plummeting really quickly this year. There's just so many wages, I guess. Salaries are just so high and local sales aren't. And we're going to have to export significantly more to make anything back. Is there anyone I can fire who isn't doing anything useful? Really? Maybe we should start to think about killing some cattle. There's 13 now in there, so these are quite old. So let's get rid of that cow and that bull. And that cow. And that bull. And that bull. Seem to disappear almost immediately. Have we got people stocking in the slaughterhouse? Yes, I've got someone there. And the tannery. And the shoemaker's shop. And then the textile shop. Yeah. There's a spare one there, but that's not very old, so we'll leave that one a little bit longer. How old are these? 3 years, 11. So we'll get rid of you and you. And we'll get rid of you. I want to have a good stock of shoes now, I think. It's going to be important. Because we've just got so much to deal with. So we are going to kill you as well. Or we'll kill a cow, actually, because we've got many more cows than we have bulls at this one. So we'll kill you. So we're going to get all them dead and slaughtered. And that should give us quite a few shoes. That should almost give us what, probably pushing for 10 pairs of shoes or something like that, which would be quite good. If we can get that sold, 350 gold, that'll give us a real boost to the treasury. So yeah, so it's kind of a tough one. We've got a lot of problems. So we're running out of potatoes, we're running out of food, we're running out of money. Things started to go well when we were around sort of 100, 150 population, and then that sort of big surge that we had in population hasn't been met by an increase sort of in productivity, I don't think, and that's sort of the spare amount of resources we got has now slowly been eaten away, and we're now back struggling again for money and food. So we're going to have to see what we can do to sort of try and keep on top of this. But we'll wait for everything to get sorted first to see how we go then. These guys hopefully earn a very small amount of money selling potatoes, or at least stop our money is declining during this period while they're there. They should be loading these up. They've only put 2 on for some reason. I don't know. So it looks like they've got everything harvested now. They're just collecting it in from the fields, which is also obviously a labouring job. So that's something that should be being done. All these people should go pick up all these potatoes and everything. Should get an idea how many we're going to get. We've got, well, 3.18 because I think a lot have been collected by the market stalls and then brought by various people as well. But there's 22 potato harvests left. We've still not caught up on the fish, I don't think, at all, by the looks of it. I can't see any fish in there at all, so there's no spare amount of fish, despite the fact we've got, what, 3, 6, 9, 10 people now. I have another worker there. 10 people now working, doing on the fisheries, on the rivers, and it's still not enough to sustain the population, so we can't seem to get ahead on that fish. So we are struggling for food quite a bit, really. So, let's see if we started the production. The tannery started to do its thing. It's getting its bit to hide in, it's got some leather. So hopefully we should start to get some shoes soon. This guy should just be working away, collecting all his beef and everything. Quite a few different things now with all the leathers and hides and everything. But soon obviously we're going to lose the fisheries, because when we start to hit into winter obviously the river freezes and then we lose all that as well, so that's kind of a problem. These guys need to start to get this stuff in off the fields. Come on guys, hurry up. Still got all that wheat to collect. We've got to end up with a lot of wheat. We've got 43 wheat now. Maybe we need to build another windmill, because they don't seem to be actually getting themselves slaughtered very quickly. We can squeeze another little one in there. That other chicken hut should have been built, which it has. Oh no, it hasn't. It's still being built. Obviously these still haven't got any eggs, so initially obviously we want them to breed for the chickens, so we'll set that like that. All the cows. I mean, I don't know how much milk these cows produce. That's something that would be kind of interesting to see. We have like an economics tab. Where are we? Economy in the town hall. That'd be a really nice feature to have, would be actually to have sort of production values. So we know that the cows produce some milk, but it obviously gets sold very quickly because I've got it as an item for sale in my markets. And so we don't therefore know really what we're achieving. So each of these cow sheds should be producing milk from the cows, but I think it's just getting sold at the market quicker than anything else. But it'd be nice to know how much that milk is contributing to the economy or to the food supply. You know, is that just like 1 or 2% of the total food consumed, or is it a significant amount? In which case, obviously, I've got to be careful not to kill all my cows because we actually need them for the food. So it's kind of something to think about. Shoe production is actually starting to take place, which is good. Still got quite a few bits of leather and everything, and the slaughterhouse should still be carrying on, so that's be good. The second chicken coop is ready, so that's good. And hopefully we should start to be getting a little bit more wood in, which we are, and I think that starts to make a little bit more firewood as well. So we'll wait for them to build up those supplies a little bit more, and then things should be looking good. We've got all the potatoes in now. 27, okay, not too bad on the potato front. We've got the rest of the wheat to take in. I think all the hemp's in, is it? Which it is. Excellent. We should be off cycle now, so we should be able to pick these. No, still classes it as being in its season, so I guess we have to wait till we actually completely hit the snow season at the end of November. But I think for this episode, number 25, this should have been episode 25 I think, we shall call it and stop here. So how are things looking? I'd say things aren't looking great. We've got back from worse. We actually completely went into negative money at one point, but our financial situation is looking pretty poor. We really need to get a messenger to visit from Merthyr or Dehetchi. Merthyr preferably, because I've got 50 sunflower oil to sell them, so you know, it's what, 500 gold worth of sunflower oil would be nice to get rid of. So we have got that, which could be a bit of money to make. If we get down to 90 gold, I'll probably actually send a messenger myself to Merthyr, because it will hit the point when I need to send it, because it will hit critical stages. But we've got also the shoes under production, which should be able to give us a little bit more money. And hopefully now that potato harvest is tided it over a little bit, just to next year, and we'll get a better harvest in next year. And then obviously the fish shoes will start back up again once we hit spring. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you like the new non-background with the green screen. It makes things a little bit better. So yes, thanks for watching, and I shall see you all on the next episode.